Hello, I am Suzy Deurinck, and in this video I would like to share the story of Joy and me. It's a nice story, obviously, because everybody loves to talk about their own horse, but I think it's also a good story because it can be very relatable. Most of the horse owners that I help can connect to the story because they have actually experienced quite the same history. So it's also maybe a way of helping you see that I've been through the same and that there is hope for a complete different kind of relationship with your horse. So the story of Joy and me began, I think, 8 years ago, and I was just riding another horse from the local horse school, and Joy came up to us while she was in the field. And there was something in her eye that she was so open and so enthusiastic about making contact that I just remembered it. It was really nice. And it was a few months later that I found out that she was actually owned by someone that I knew. So I contacted them and asked if it was okay for me to come visit, and it was. So that's how I started helping the owner with Joy and also training Joy. Because Joy was quite the mare. She was quite feisty and she was very fast and very easily, not really spook, but very easily over threshold. And her answer to everything was to run, run, run. So at that time, nobody was actually training her or doing anything with her. She was the companion for another horse. So actually my presence was quite welcome, so that I could train her. And I started out by using Google how to train a horse, because I really had no experience or no special skills for a horse like her. And of course I found natural horsemanship, so that's where I started. And the idea was that every time she went to this crazy place in her head, the only way, the natural horsemanship way that I was taught, to connect with her is to drive her over the edge of the anxiety, over the edge of the stress, in order for her to release and to relax. So that's what I did. I visited clinics and I had lessons and I read all the books and I saw all the DVDs. So every time she got spooky or she got frustrated, she had to back up, or I had to increase pressure in a different way, because that was what I was taught, that if a horse is so disconnected with you, the only way they will reconnect with you is by increasing pressure. Which really was not what happened in real life with me and Joy. Every time I increased pressure, the distance got only bigger and bigger, and she would go further away in her head. So it didn't really work for us. And I started my search. I increased my search, and I started my education to become a horse behavioral therapist, which I am today. And I'm really glad for that piece of the puzzle, because that led me to clicker training, to positive reinforcement training. And the interesting thing was that in the moment I started clicker training, I could see the horse that came up to me in the field. She said, "Hey, how are you? Nice that you are here." And that was the horse that I saw the first time, and that was the horse that came to the surface while starting clicker training. And I really made some terrible mistakes in clicker training, but it was very fast for me to see that it was the same horse that I met the first time. And I think that was a magical moment for us, but it also still took us many months to reconnect, or maybe not to reconnect, but to connect, because we never connected in a good way. And over the months that came after that, for example, she never enjoyed grooming, and all of a sudden I could groom her perfectly, and she would twinge her lip and she would groom me back, and all those pieces started to fall into place. I think because of positive reinforcement and because I didn't increase pressure when she wasn't sure. So after finding out what was actually clear to her and what wasn't, I found out that so many things were not clear to her. So she could halter, yes, she could walk on a rope, yes, but she wasn't really sure about how and why and all those things. So it was just maybe going through the motions, but she was never the active actor in the process. She always just was silent and said nothing about it. And the thing that we changed, and the thing that I'm so grateful for today, is that Joy really is a equal companion, and she's not I'm not her superior, and she's just my friend. And by the way, she's coming to say hi. Hey, I'm talking about you. So now I'm a bit distracted because she just came to say hi. But I think that transformation from being just silent and just saying nothing and just letting it all wash over you, towards this horse and say, hey, you're doing something cool over there, let me see. That's the thing I want in a horse. That she's not only doing the stuff that I want her to do, but that she's also happy about doing it, and that I don't think of her only as my friend, but that she also thinks of me as her friend. And we came a long way for this to happen. Oh boy, there were moments where she would actually run away when she saw me, because she thought, oh no, there's that increasing pressure woman again. Well, now she's just so relaxed. So that's my story. If you have more questions or if you can relate to this, feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to help, and I'm more than happy to help. And I will end this video by giving you a perfect shot. Just a moment.